grid, which is what it does in the well, basically. So there's giving something to it. There's no much to there, so the water actually starts rising. It hits various sluice gates at the top. But then the force of the wooden ones are made by one of our volunteers. So now sleeps. Just really make sure you just sit down backwards. How you feel most comfortable. Thank you.
The wind changes direction by 180 degrees. When they had the floods down there, yeah. They just feed them enough to get them. You know, I think everybody used to
It's like a suction, rather than sucking air in, and then pressing it across.
เลยยุ่งเลยอายุ
begun on the this is part of the north. You see a lot of these old wooden yard. These are the later years. So we've started off turning grass. This is what we want to make them looking across and back in time in the Northern Broads. It's the lovely classic yachts. It's quite windy, as I say. He's got his full rigour. Eels coming up the river. Eels, big long snaky fish. On the top there, and then we've got some very handsome lads here, probably in the theatre club or something, I don't know what they're doing. Once you change the captain, decided to basically put your boat away without tapping. He was probably about 18, grandson of a friend of mine, and he lost his gear. North is sinking compared to sea level at the moment. Yeah, it turns out. Then relax, but not too much. I mean, here these sort of reeds, the area is still hunted. Follow 5. And 5 is the speed limit, so it's nice if it's the speed limit. So it's somewhere near sort of sailing for the ordinary person, particularly because we're on deep as well. Yeah, these ones were dug out in peat, but later on, once the roads were flooded, other canals got dug against you. You want to be on a big wide bit of water to tap it in. We're not gonna fit that. And these guys have been there a little bit smaller. Try and do it neatly. And they would shoot us eat almost anything they could get that's got a pulse. Without getting their feet. I witnessed it last week at National Club. So again, one of last year's youngsters liked to be just get on. Keep a distance from them. But that was more bitten than what you might have seen this morning. We're going to go past has a dark beak and yellow feet and is little red. By the way the sails are looking, I think they've got their coarse fish, so most sorts of fish. You get roach and rudd and perch and big pike, bream, tench, eels, so most to pieces. So what you do instead is you cut it with a big pair of sheep shears and you make either a semi-road by people who just live in Norwich. That one in front of us is lived by a company. The prices of them have fluctuated as the Broads Authority some areas, but he's just raised his up. Some steel work. And some of them, of course, you can hire. Some of them move by the boatyard. That's just either side of the stern. There will be a bit of bumping, but we're going to try and get in off the river. It's the wind or the tide. Well, never mind. I'll know in a minute. Well, that house is a hireable one. Yeah, you should have a national boat license. It's just not this week. I don't know what's going on. You can be trying. Actually on the side. I know.
Still get those swans in the boat.
No, we haven't got any. That big. Yeah.
Ready?
That's what she wants me to get.